We stopped at Angers for lunch. Angers is located in the province of Anjou. In the Middle Ages, Anjou and Angers residents were called Angevins. So what, right? Well, a bunch of big-time medieval dynasties came from the Angevins. At various times, the Angevins ruled England, Ireland, Hungary, Poland, Naples, and Sicily, even Jerusalem. The English line includes the Plantagenets, who ruled England from Henry II beginning in 1154 through Richard, a horse, my kingdom for a horse, III, who was killed at the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485. Angers is dominated by the Château d'Angers, with its 17 concentric towers. The location, a ridge overlooking the River Main, was originally picked by the Romans, who liked the position for its defensive strengths. Château d'Angers is around 6 football fields in circumference, over 6 acres inside. The chateau includes a Sainte-Chapelle, the name given to churches with a relic of the Passion. Angers claims a splinter of the true cross that Jesus was crucified on. Angers leapt to the forefront of history in the 1400s, when the Dauphin of France, who had become King Charles VII, with the help of Joan of Arc, was given sanctuary in the chateau. The chateau later became a military academy. In a fit of irony, its students included Arthur Wellesley, the first Duke of Wellington, who crushed Napoleon Bonaparte at Waterloo. The Château d'Angers always featured a dry moat. At one time it was filled with King René's menagerie of African animals. Later, it was a vegetable garden. The chateau is a museum today, housing the oldest and largest collection of medieval tapestries in the world. The 14th century Apocalypse tapestry is the largest tapestry in the world. It's also known for the ornamental gardens planted in the dry moat in the chateau courtyard. We didn't have much time and it cost 15 euros, about 23 bucks, to enter the chateau, so we just walked around it. This is a picture of a sign outside the chateau showing the Plan de Ville. The courtyard is a formal garden. Here's Madison and Mackenzie outside Château d'Angers at the Place du President Kennedy, south of the chateau. Behind them, in the moat, are the formal gardens. I was curious how the chateau could contain a splinter of the true cross upon which Christ was crucified. The true cross was uncovered in the 4th century when the Roman Emperor Constantine's mother had the Temple of Venus built on Golgotha torn down and a church built. When excavating for the church, 3 crosses were discovered, which were believed to be those of Jesus and the 2 thieves. To figure out which was Christ, the president of Jerusalem had a sick woman brought near the 3 crosses. 2 did nothing, the 3rd healed her. Part of the cross went to Constantinople. Parts got sent all over the place. For example, various popes got parts. Parts stayed in Jerusalem. Khusrau II, an Iranian king, sacked Jerusalem in the 7th century and took the cross as a prize. Heraclius took out Khusrau a decade later and returned the fragments to Jerusalem, where they were hidden. Now you're looking towards the north, along the western wall of the chateau, and we'll pivot to look to the east down the southern moat. During the First Crusade in the 11th century, the fragments of the cross were rediscovered and used to boost the spirit of the troops before battle. They were captured by Saladin, who by the way was a Kurd from Tikrit in the 12th century and never seen again. At the start of the 13th century, during the Fourth Crusade, Constantinople was sacked and plundered. The remnants of the true cross were widely distributed across Europe. So many churches claim to have part of the true cross that John Calvin said that if all the claims were true, it would represent enough wood to build a ship. Rohat de Fleury made a study of the remnants for his book, Mémoires sur les instruments de la Passion, which was an attack on Calvinism. Fleury claims that the volume of the known remnants of the true cross added up to no more than 1/3 of the size necessary. We're now looking to the south, along the western wall, to the place where we were standing a few moments ago. The northern wall of the Château d'Angers faces the main river and reveals a rocky outcrop that led the Romans to first select the location as a strategic position. I don't know if this is the case, but it's easy to imagine this being an overgrown entrance to a secret passage to the interior of the chateau. More gardens are revealed along the eastern end of the northern wall. Here's Pam, Mackenzie, and Madison under a rose trellis. Angers calls itself the most flowered city in Europe. Looking up the Monte Saint-Maurice to La Cathédrale Saint-Maurice. Madison and Mackenzie on the Monte Saint-Maurice. The main door to La Cathédrale Saint-Maurice. Note the ornamentation on the doors. I really don't want to know what they have to confess. Pam taking a picture. Now this is an organ. The Rosées Nord, or North Rose window, designed by André Robin. The Rosées Sud, or South Rose window. A sign nearby described the window as Christ of the Apocalypse, in glory, red and blue, immutable, transforming time about him. a plan of the cathedral. Like all cathedrals, it's laid out as a cross. Angers has a large historical section with medieval houses in original condition. Pam's standing before a half-timbered building. This building is interesting in that it shows the use of jetties, which are cantilevers so they can project over the street, offering added floor space without affecting the street. Note the iron cross above the window. A bar passes from the cross through to the other side of the building, holding the walls tight.